To all present, and thank you all for joining us for today's webinar on mental wellness. Dear students, you all are well versed with the rules and etiquettes of a webinar. Still, I request all of you all to kindly keep your microphone off unless and until you are asked to unmute yourself. Also, if you have any queries or any questions during the session, please put it on the chat box. It will be answered eventually. Please maintain discipline. Thank you for joining. The mental wellness is said to be a positive state of mental health. It is more than the absence of mental illness. Creating a healthy mindset is an investment for your overall well-being. In today's session, we are going to discover what being mentally well means and how it can help us lead a fulfilling life. I now invite our principal, Mrs. Cynthia Branches, to welcome the virtual gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected resource. I'm sorry, I'll just repeat again. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Can you all hear me? Okay. I'll restart because I was talking with my microphone off. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome for this session. I welcome the resource persons, Dr. Enid Miranda and Ms. Gail Rebello, Mr. Vikram Velekar, the Chairman of V.V.M Sports Council, the Gymkhana Secretary, Mr. Divakar Komarpan, the Physical Education teachers, Mrs. Girija Devi Desai and Mr. Durgesh Prabhugaonkar, and Mrs. Sandhya Kurgaonkar, the compare for the day, Mrs. Frida Fernandez, and other faculty attending the session today, and my dear students. I welcome all of you for this session. It will be indeed very interesting session, especially for you students, in order to clarify a lot of your problems that you have been facing due to this COVID-19 pandemic. You might have been facing some of these problems, like because you cannot come to the institution and attend the classes, you might have felt that you are missing on a lot of important information. So you might have had this anxiety problem. You might have also been a little frustrated because every now and then you had connectivity issues. Of course, some of you might have been also upset, mainly because you could not meet your friends. And some of you might have even become stressed out with all these situations that you are going through. So today, we have decided to have two very resourceful persons. One who is a doctor by profession, a psychiatrist, Dr. Enid Miranda. And of course, we also have our own, very own counselor of the institution who has been interacting with you, dealing with some of your issues, who will be addressing you, Ms. Gail Rebello, on stress management. So, I won't waste more time. I would like you to pay attention and please ensure that you clarify your doubts when the time is there for question and answer. Once again, I welcome all of you. Thank you.
Teacher, your voice is breaking.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Mr. Durgesh Prabhugaonkar to introduce the resource person for our first session, Dr. Enid Miranda.
Today, I am here to introduce a great personality in front of you. She is said to be as a consultant psychiatrist practicing in Margao from past more than 30 years. Her consultancy areas of interest has been towards adolescents and family wellness. She has also worked as a lecturer in the Victoria Memorial Nursing College. She is also said to be an honorary consultant psychiatrist at Daddy's Home too. As part of profession, she has conducted various workshops on mental health and illness to overcome their problems for various schools, colleges, and corporate houses. As I take this pleasure and opportunity to honor such personality right forward to you, it's none other than Dr. Enid Miranda. Thank you.
Thank you, Durgesh. I now invite the resource person for our first session, Dr. Enid Miranda, to kindly take over. Your students, I hope we are audible to you all.
Should I start? Good afternoon, everybody. And I'm Dr. Enid Miranda. I'm a psychiatrist, and I have my clinic very close to the college. I thank RMS College for inviting me and for asking me to share my knowledge with all of you. My areas of interest have always been youngsters, adolescents, and I'm very happy for their curiosity. I must congratulate RMS College for having this sort of a webinar because not just because I'm a psychiatrist, but everybody knows that mental health or mental health conditions are deteriorating, and especially during the COVID time. The WHO chief has said that in this pandemic, the mental health has taken quite a toll, and it is an epidemic of mental health disorders. So this is the time now that we will start. And I have a small PowerPoint presentation so that I can explain better to you. And A little we are, by the time we are setting up with the help of your counselor, we are going to start. Maybe put slideshow and come open it. I'm sorry, there seems to be a little problem here. This slideshow. And from beginning, yes, there's something going on. There's a little problem. So. Yeah, not for that whole school, really. Here on this chair, you can get into both the session. It's not coming. You don't put the same put zero. Can I try to okay. Are you able to see the screen? Students, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, teacher.
Are you all able to see the screen or yes?
Yes,
Okay, I think the computer was going through some stress and maybe the computer also needed a few sessions of mental wellness before we started. So here we are going to start, right? Yes, I can. Before we start and speak about mental wellness, first we will try and understand what is mental health. Everyone knows what is health, what is physical health, and now we are going to talk about mental health. I have put up a slide of the brain and the mind because there are many people who want to know, if when they are, especially parents, when their children are going through some distress, they say, can you give some brain tonic, and is there a problem with the brain? Now, I want you to understand that the brain is the organ which controls the rest of the body, and mind is the functioning of the brain. Okay, so the mind is the functioning of the brain, all the thinking, I will go to the next slide. See, I'm not going to talk to you all this. You all might have learned in the 10th standard a little bit about the brain. That there are different lobes. There is the occipital lobe, the frontal lobe. There are many lobes, and each of these lobes, like the occipital lobe, looks after the eyes. There is the cerebellum looks after the movement, and the frontal lobe. If you can see on your screen, the frontal lobe is a blue colored lobe. In the humans, the frontal lobe is the one which is very much developed. If you see it in the animals, the frontal lobe is very small. And the frontal lobe is the one which is called, it controls the higher functions, and that is the mind. That is the thinking, the reasoning, the planning, the personality, all those problems come in the. So basically, what is mind? Okay, the mind is like a triangle. If y'all can see my face, can y'all see my face on the screen? If y'all can see my face, I would like, especially for the children, to think of it like this: that the mind controls the thoughts, the emotions, and the behavior. Okay, can y'all see it? Thoughts, emotions, behavior. Thoughts is in the head, in the mind. Emotions come from the heart, and behavior is how we behave. So mental wellness is when all the three. Okay, so okay, fine. I think y'all can't see my face. I was told that y'all would be able to see my face, but fine, as long as y'all can hear my voice. Okay. So thoughts, emotions, and behavior. It is a combination of these three. So when all these three are in sync, so if you can see what we think affects how we act and how we feel, it is like I'll give you an example. The thoughts today, you all are all attending this webinar. I'm sure the organizers, your principal, your counselor, and everyone, they must have thought, the thought must have come that we have to have this webinar and hope everything goes well. So the thought that hope everything goes well is going on in their mind. That's the thought. Now, it is causing them a little anxiety, that is emotions. It is causing them anxiety. Will it go well? Will it function well? Will all the connectivity be good? And that is how it also affects the behavior. Just before I came in here, I could see all the organizers running about, trying to fix everything, trying to get, and feeling a little bit anxious. But now, so it affects the behavior. Have you understood? The thought is about the webinar. Will it work well? Emotion is anxiety, and they were having a certain behavior, trying to cope up with that anxiety. Now, this stress is over for them. There is a little stress of me whether I am able to convey the message, and my behavior is that I'm just presenting the webinar. Now, coming to wellness, mental wellness means it is a balance between these three things: the thoughts, the emotions, and the behavior. Now, take for example, I'll give you another example of a thought. If you think that, a relationship problem, let's say a relationship problem, I don't mean a boyfriend, girlfriend type of a problem. I mean a relationship with your parents, with your teachers, with your friends. Sometimes there is some people whom you have to meet every day and whom you don't like. So what is the feeling? The thought is, I have to go and meet this person. The emotion what you're feeling is you're so angry, you're so upset, you hate the person, you don't want to meet the person. So what do you do? What is your behavior? Your behavior is that you avoid that person, or when you talk to that person, you talk in a very surly manner. So that is the behavior. Now, if this stress this stress of the anxiety and anger and hatred carries on for a long time, it becomes a de-stress. And that time, your mental wellness, which is this triangle, goes for a toss. So have you understood that mental wellness is basically a sharing, it is a balance between all these three things. Just in short, I have another slide here. The wellness wheel takes, it takes care of your intellectual needs, social needs, physical, spiritual, occupational, emotional, environment. Intellectual, you all know it's regarding what is your IQ, what is your level of your intelligence, your social, the next is social is your friends, your neighbors, your teachers, your family. Physical is you need to be in good physical health. Spiritual, yeah, some of you are spiritual, they all go to church, you'll go to the temple, you'll go to the mosque, but some of you pray at home because nowadays you can't go anywhere. And some people feel that they don't believe in God, but they send their thoughts out to the universe. That is also okay because you think that someone or somewhere or something is there in the universe which is looking after you all. Occupational for the staff will be the work that they do, but occupational for the students will be the studies that you all do. That is, the emotional is what we are going to talk about now, is how to look after your emotion, but basically emotional is the feelings that you have. A lot of people say, a lot of the students who come, they say, doctor, we want to talk to you about our feelings. And environmental is not just the trees and the grass and on the coal fights. Environmental basically means what is the environment surrounding you. I'll just talk about a few facts about mental health conditions. That is, mental health conditions affects 1 in 6 people aged between 10 to 19 years. So students, you all come under 1 in 6 people, and this statistics was at least 2 years old. So by now it is considered to be 1 in 5. The mental health conditions account for 16% of the global burden of disease, and most cases are undetected and untreated. So what happens then is the consequences of not addressing adolescent mental health is these same conditions, they extend to adulthood, and it impairs both your physical and your mental needs. You'll be wondering how physical, because if your mind is not working properly, you're not able to take care of your body. And as you grow as an adult, it limits your opportunities to lead fulfilling lives. Globally, all over the world, depression is considered one of the leading causes of illness and disability, followed by anxiety disorders, and suicide is the third leading cause of death. The mental health disorders, I'll just enumerate them. I'll talk more. Like attention deficit hyperactivity disorders, they are known as ADHD. Many times the teachers might have noticed that there are students who are walking up and down, who are restless. Your other students might be noticing that your fellow colleagues are all the time disturbing. They are disturbing not because they want to disturb, but maybe they are suffering from ADHD. That is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Their attention span is very, very small, and that is why they cannot concentrate on the lecture. They cannot concentrate, cannot hold. When you're talking to them, they have zoned out and they have gone, they are doing something else. There are many times among friends, there are some friends, who come and say, doctor, this friend of mine, she doesn't want to listen to me, she only wants to tell me her stories, but maybe that girl is having an ADHD and she cannot concentrate on what you're talking for such a long time. I hope some of you who are listening to me are not having this attention deficit because you are just looking at a screen and not me. So in case you are, just try to focus back on the screen. Obsessive compulsive, all of you know that some of you want to keep things clean, or it's a thought which comes again and again and again and again. And there are many times this has become a very common disorder now among children, where they start thinking of a thought and all the time, I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail, or I've done something wrong, I've done something wrong. And all the time that obsessive thought comes to their mind all the time. Eating disorders has become very common now. When I was a student, eating disorders was just a small little column in my books, which we read, because these eating disorders was only a disease of the West. But now it has come to India, it has come to Goa, and mostly it is very common among the young girls, because everyone wants to look after the figures, and there is so much on social media. Everyone is selfie, everyone wants to look good, everyone is smiling. So if you are a little fat, you become conscious. If you are a little dark, you become conscious. So you start having eating disorders. Eat, go to the bathroom, vomit. So they either become very, very thin or start eating a lot. Conduct disorder is destructive or challenging behavior. And the last is psychosis, where you need help of a doctor. A conduct disorder means sometimes you find that children are very aggressive, are very rebellious, and they even resort to violence. Okay. Now, there is this risk-taking behaviors, which is seen more and more common now. Substance use, there is alcohol, tobacco, cannabis, and younger children are taking tobacco, are smoking, they are drinking and having cannabis, weed. Everyone is having weed nowadays, and most of them come and say, doctor, it is medicinal, it is allowed. In the West, in many countries, they are allowing it. But no, there are so many things which can happen with weed. We are getting more and more cases of young children who take weed and they end up with what we call substance abuse psychosis. They get a total breakdown, not just because of the withdrawal, but because whenever they take weed, they're permanently on a high, and they end up very often with a substance abuse psychosis. Okay? And the next one is sexual risk taking. This I specifically want to talk about sexual risk taking. There is so much that all of you see on media, and you all feel that it is okay to have sex. I am getting more and more cases of people who have indulged in early sex, in the sexual behavior, not just sexual intercourse, but maybe kissing, touching, fondling, and very, very often it is becoming more and more. I want you all to listen to this carefully. Very often, when there are relationship problems, there are many boys who tell the girls that if you love me, you are going to send me a picture of you nude. And there are many of you girls who are sending, maybe the boys are also sending, but the girls are sending pictures of themselves, nude pictures of themselves to their boyfriends. And later on, they feel very, very, very guilty about this, and they want to withdraw from it, and the deed is already done. If you have done it, forget about it. You can do things to stop feeling guilty. You can seek help. You can speak to your parents, to your elders, to your teachers, to your aunts, uncles, whoever, who is going to help you. But do not make the mistake of, sometimes it is a mistake. Sometimes you feel you are in love, and what is there? What is there for me to show my body to this boy? But later on, after 1 or 2 years, these same girls come to you saying, Doctor, I made a mistake, and it goes on and on and on in their mind, and they don't seem to be able to get out of it. So if you have not done it, please don't do it. There is a time and place. There is a time when you become older. There is a time for you to have sex. You get married. You can enjoy a very good sexual life in your marriage. Now there is perpetration of violence. We already spoke about it earlier, a little earlier. See, conduct disorder, destructive or challenging behavior, which leads to violence, and it leads to criminal behavior. There is a road rage now. Among boys, it is very common. They fight with each other. They fight over maybe girls, or they fight over things. Or some people are rich, some people are poor. Sometimes you feel envy that he has a bike, I don't have a bike, and lots of you go with a bike and finally go and crash, and you sometimes go and steal. So all this is basically a risk-taking behavior, and it is called a very poor coping mechanism of mental health. Now, how do you know? How can you understand that a person is having a mental health problem, a mental condition? If you can understand yourself, or maybe your friend or your neighbor can see that you're feeling tired. Sometimes you suffer from acidity, from stomachache, from headache. All these are physical symptoms. Many children say, I get a headache, I don't get sleep, I have a stomachache. You also feel irritable, frustration, anger. I think your principal said right in the beginning that in this COVID times, we are all stuck indoors, and especially for your youngsters. So there is a lot of frustration and anger. Some of you stay in big houses, some of you stay in small houses. You have to stay with the family, with maybe a joint family, and there is no outlet for, you want to go out and meet a friend, go and sit down out, hanging out, just sit for a cup of tea or a cold drink or a burger. None of that can happen. None of that is happening these days. So you feel very frustrated and anger, and there is so much of uncertainty these days that you start getting irritable because you do not know what the future has in store for you. Then there is this rapid, unexpected emotional outbursts. It is okay. You know, this emotion of suddenly you are angry, you are very moody, suddenly you are angry, suddenly you are sad, and you fight and you get out of the room, you bang doors, you bang windows. Okay. Now, why are teens so moody? You get parents nowadays, and many of the parents say, Doctor, our time we were not like that. Why are the children? One moment she is so fine, one moment she is so angry, she is fighting with me, she doesn't talk to me, she stays by herself. So, what is it? This is a noticeable change in behavior in the parents. The teachers and staff might notice that there is a student who was quite bright and doing very well, suddenly has stopped attending school, or there is a drop in schoolwork. Of course, school attendance is not there right now, but I'm sure on online classes, the school attendance must be a bit less, and that is where the staff notices. And further, the next thing is social withdrawal. When there is a social withdrawal, I think anyone around you, maybe your teachers or the friends, if you all notice such things, a noticeable change in behavior or a social withdrawal, don't want to talk to anyone, I think you can go and approach that student, that girl, that friend of yours, and talk to her and take her to a senior, a teacher, or even a professional. Okay. I specifically spoke again about suicide and self-harm because there is a spike in self-harm and suicidal ideation during this COVID pandemic. We have found that because, especially youngsters, because they are stuck indoors and they feel completely frustrated, they don't know whom to go to, whole day and night they are on social media trying to connect. Social media is something very, very good in these days. We have found, see this webinar now, we are connecting to so many people because of this technology. So use it wisely. Okay, so you can connect with your friends, you can talk to your friends. If you are feeling low, if you are feeling sad, you can talk to your friends. So a good thing that has come out of this COVID pandemic is though you are not able to talk to the person, to talk to the person. See, I myself, let me tell you that I have a clinic. Excuse me, I'm having some water. I have a clinic, and till about 2 months back, I was open full day. Um, but after some time, as the cases started increasing, and as I was going to hospitals, and there we were getting positive cases, we were advised that we should work from home. Now, in my clinic, I was with my mask, with my cap, with my gown, with my face shield. So the patients who used to come couldn't even recognize me because they had to talk to me through the mask. So I shifted to doing work from home, and I do either Zoom calls or maybe I do a video WhatsApp call. And it is so much better because the patient can see my face and I can see the patient's face and we can connect. At the same time, we are very safe. During this COVID pandemic, lots of cases of suicide have increased and self-harm. If you notice your friend showing some tendencies, please seek professional help. Okay. Now I have. If you all can see on your screen, I have put this. I put a picture there of mental wellness, one step at a time. Before that, I will come to the thing that I have underlined. That is, taking care of the mind is not an option. It should be done always. Remember that if your mental health is good, then everything else falls in place. During this COVID pandemic, it is a crisis situation. So if your mental health, you are cool and calm, you are able to work things through. The new word is the new normal. So you are able to work things through and accept whatever has happened and deal with this sort of situation. And you have to seek professional help when needed. Now, I'm coming back to the picture of mental wellness one step at a time. A few days back, I attended a webinar. I was asked to address a group of youngsters regarding this mental health only. But because I could not do it, I asked a younger colleague of mine, she's very young, she's in her 30s, to hold that webinar. And it was a Zoom session, and there was a lady who was interviewing another young person who was interviewing this doctor. And most of the time, the interviewer, she kept on asking, "Doctor, give us some quick tips, quick fixes, quick tips. How do you manage stress? How do you manage anxiety? Give us some quick tips." Let me tell you that yes, all of us want quick tips. Like during the pandemic, let me say that I learned to how to pass my time. I said, let me learn some more cooking. I'm not a very good cook, but I said, let me learn some more cooking. And all that I was looking for was quick options, easy cooking. Okay, because we want to do everything fast, especially in this world, everything is fast. But mental health, remember, the mental health or mental wellness is one step at a time. There are no quick fixes. Yes, there is. I will speak to you all about, speak a little bit, and maybe your counselor Gail will give you all more tips or more strategies on how to look after your mental health. But remember, there are no quick fixes. I think today's youth is used to, at the press of a button, you get all the answers. At the press of a button, you can open up your whole, so many windows at a time. It is like opening so many windows at a time, and you're looking at this one, that one, and your mind is all over. So just take one step at a time, one task at a time, and you will be there. Okay? Now, this is just something which I decided to put up, mental health promotion and prevention programs. This is just like a multi-level approach through digital media, through Instagram, through Snapchat, through health or social care settings, or schools or community level. At this time, I think I would like to congratulate RMS that they are trying to promote mental health and prevent mental health disorders and having these programs. And one of the programs is this program. So at schools and community level, you can have these programs, and it is something very good. So World Mental Health Day was just over in October. October 10th was World Mental Health Day. We celebrated Mental Health Week. So I'm happy that all of you are getting involved in all this promotion and prevention of mental health. Now, how are the kids? I picked up this picture because I felt nice looking at the picture. I think maybe I'm a mother. Of course, I'm a mother of, it's time for me to become a grandmother, I think. I'm a mother of older children. There is one who is quite young, but the other two are already older. So I liked this picture. It caused me a lot of happiness, and I'm sure if you see that little cute girl there, you feel very happy. So that is why I picked up this picture. Now, one of the main things I feel that you should do is set a routine. I always ask any student who comes, any patient who comes, okay, that you need to set your routine. I always ask them, what time do you sleep, what time do you get up, what time you have your breakfast, and make a timetable. Sit down, even if you don't make a time, if you write down the timetable, if you do something called journaling, means write it down, write your thoughts or everything in your journal, but write your timetable also. Time to get up, time to have breakfast, have a sleep schedule. Today, more and more youngsters are sleeping very late at night. They are sleeping early in the morning. Every student, I think every youngster is staying up the whole night and sleeping the whole morning. So many parents are grumbling that my daughter sleeps at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. And what time she cannot get up for the online classes. I know that online classes must be very difficult for you all. And it is not easy, it is something new. It is something new even for the teachers, for the staff, for the parents. Sometimes in some homes, I know people with small children, they have one mobile and two small children. And the parents have to take the homework, and so it's very difficult for everybody. So if you keep a routine, especially in these days, it gives you a sense of control. See, during this pandemic, everything has gone haywire and you are no longer in control of anything. Even now, as I came here with my mask, I brought my own water because everything now. When you have a routine, it gives you a sense of control because it gives you a structure. So you are in control of what time you get up, what time you sleep. You need to have your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and whatever have if you have snacks in between at regular intervals. 8 o'clock means doesn't mean to say 8 o'clock only in the morning. It can mean 8:30, but you need to have breakfast. And breakfast, I cannot overemphasize that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Make time for work for the staff. I'm saying make time for work, and for students, make time for study because that forms a big part of your time schedule. Make time for exercise. So exercise, all of you must be knowing, all of you must be reading that exercise gives out endorphins. Endorphins are known as happy hormones. So do some exercise. Maybe go for a walk or a jog, or nowadays you can't go for a swim, you can't go to the gym, but go out in the open air. Maybe you can go with a family member, activities together with family and friends. Now you cannot have those activities together. So all the activities that you can have together is only virtual activities through Zoom. But with a family member, you can go for a walk. I always go for a walk at least 3 to 4 times a week. I go for a walk. I used to go every day, but because of some problems that I'm having as I'm getting older, the doctor has said don't do exercise so much. I used to go for a 1 hour walk every day. Now I have reduced the time, but I do go for an exercise for a walk. Two things happen: endorphins, happy hormones. Also, when you go out, you are getting out of your room, getting out of your house. You are breathing in fresh air. You are looking at other people around, and you feel good. Now, exercise, you can do something like yoga, you can do workouts. There is so much on YouTube that you choose something which suits you. If I could find something, I belong to the senior generation, so I am not so good with YouTube and things like that. But I have found exercises which suit me. I have found exercises, something like yoga for seniors, which I enjoy and I do every day with music. So it makes me happy and it makes me mentally more healthy. Now this is focus of, so remember this is the most important thing, okay? Set a routine. Now focus on building yourself, okay? You can read books, read other books, don't read only or play music. Don't just listen to music. If you are creative, if you play an instrument, it is something you can experiment. You can play the guitar, or if you have never learned a music, have never played an instrument, there is nothing like now to learn. There are a lot of, I have seen on YouTube, there is learn the piano, learn to play the guitar by yourself. So there are all these, so play music, learn a language. What I'm talking about reading, and there is something called an active activity and a passive activity. You can sit, you can be a couch potato and watch TV, watch movies on YouTube, on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, or you can be creative. The moment you are creative, your mind is getting stimulated. You are trying to, make collages, so many things out there. So many of you youngsters are so very good in painting and making so many different beautiful things. So make that. There was a young girl who, when the COVID pandemic first started, she was making different colored masks and different shapes, and it was really something very creative. And she was catching up with this, she was making use of this COVID pandemic to let out all her creative abilities come out. So you can do painting, gardening, cooking, baking. Everyone is baking nowadays. Everyone is baking cakes, and baking is one of the best form of, in cooking. Baking is supposed to be very, very therapeutic. You can do dancing, you can do Zumba, and learn something new. and listen to some uplifting stories and learn something new, because when you learn something new, it boosts your confidence. Okay? Develop an emotional immunity system. I just call this WWW, that is watch what you watch. That is on screen time. You need to watch, no, don't watch violence and corruption, all those serials which has a lot, because your mind does get contaminated and toxic. You feel it is nothing, this violence and all is nothing, and you start getting immune to it. So when you get angry and you get aggressive, you think it's all right. Because, so instead of that, have a quiet time for yourself. I think everybody needs, I need my thinking space. I found this picture and I really, really liked it. Have time for yourself every day. Read, breathe. When I say breathe means do breathing exercises. There are a lot of breathing exercises on YouTube, but take small breathing exercises like breathe in, hold the breath for 3 seconds and breathe out for 3 seconds. So it is inhale, hold, exhale. Okay, and you can listen to soft music, any music which you like, light a scented candle. Take time to stimulate your senses. Remember that we have 5 senses, so you can go out and watch something like, for example, I get up every day in the morning and I sit by my window. So I look out and I see the greenery. I hear the birds tweeting. That is, today you can actually hear the birds tweeting. So my hearing is stimulated. I sit with a cup of coffee. So my nose is stimulated, my nasal, my sense of smell is stimulated, because I'm getting the smell of coffee. I am touching my cup, so I'm actually touching a hot and cold. No, you touch your, so it is eyes, it is ears, it is a taste, and I'm tasting the taste of coffee. So you remember, this is just me. I'm giving you this example of me. But one of the ways of developing your your mind is every day try and think of stimulating each and every sense of yours. That is hearing, eyesight, smell, taste, and touch. Okay. Now, before I end, I just want to say, normally I usually end with a quote, but today I don't want to end with any quote, because I have spoken, I think, so much. So all that I want to say is, don't worry. Whatever is happening to you, don't worry that something is going to go wrong. All that is happening is, it is all in the mind. And it's all in the mind this is a beautiful picture which I found. So remember that it is all, it's all in the mind. So what you feel and what you behave can change, because you can change your thought. Thank you, and I hope it was comprehensive and I didn't.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Enid, for the enlightening session. Dear students, you are free to interact with Dr. Enid. If any one of you have any questions or queries, kindly unmute yourselves and please post the question.
Okay. Do you all have any questions, any queries? Please feel free to ask. I'll be here to. Don't feel shy. Do you all have, the staff have any queries, or you all need to ask? You can ask. Is there something?
Okay, students, I think all of you all have understood the whole concept. You don't have any query. So thank you, Dr. Enid, for your time and for your resources. I now call upon Mrs. Girija Devi Desai to kindly introduce the resource person for our second session on stress management, Ms. Gail Rebelli.
Good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible? Please do put in the chat box if you all can hear me. Yes, thank you. So I would be directly presenting my slides to you all, and I would like this to be an interactive session as well, because side by side I'll try and keep a check on the chat box. Okay, so this is on stress management. As doctor had already spoken on the other topics and on ways to manage it, this would be on stress and ways on how y'all can manage stress. So what do you all think? Is it important to be taking stress for everything that usually you all take up stress, right? For small things that come your way? Do put down in the chat box, is it important to be taking stress? Come on, students, I need you all to put in the chat box. Okay, very good. Anybody else? Okay, very good. See, small amounts or mild amounts of stress is normal. Like when you all go on stage and you all need to say a speech on stage or for your elocution competition, taking that small amount of stress or just before your exam, you're getting all tensed up, that is normal. Doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It's just your body's way of dealing with these situations. As doctor also has spoken, there are different responses that happen. Like when you go through stress, you go through emotional difficulties. Am I audible, students?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. So you go through behavior difficulties, wherein you might not get sleep at night. You might be so tense that you might stay up all night thinking about your problem. Then your friends might suggest to you all, Arey, why not take one puff or have a drink? Your problems will reduce. You all might stay absent for long durations. You all might not attend classes online. You all might not want to come to school. Also, you all will keep getting angry over small things. Say your parents ask you all to do something, you all will get angry with them. You all will shout at your sister. You all will say, Arey, you all can't see what I'm doing. Why you're keeping on irritating me? Or you all will totally lose hope and then you all might feel suicidal. You all might keep crying. And then the other physiological aspects would be high blood pressure or increased heart rate. Okay? Now, just as adults go through stress, so do students. These are the different factors that are responsible. One could be family expectations. Your families want you all to become a CA or a banker or want you all to get into the teaching field. Then again, your friendships. Now, many of you all might have had a different set of friends, correct? You all must have had friends when you all were in school, say 5th to the 7th, one batch, then 8th, 9th, 10th, another set of friends altogether. What happens? Each friend comes during only that point of life. And then those friends go, they move on. They move on to other higher secondaries or other careers. And then you all are left with a new set of friends. So please do not go to drastic measures of doing things to yourself if a particular friend stops talking to you. Next would be career. There are many students that get stressed out about, especially this year, what is going to happen? Will I be able to finish 12th standard? Will I be able to get good scores? And meeting deadlines. If your teacher gives you all any assignment, you'll get stressed out about that. There are so many assignments to do, so many tests. I can't concentrate. I won't be able to complete it on time. So as I said before, mild amount of stress is fine, but do not let it to exceed that because it will interfere with your daily functioning. This is the curve, stress curve. Can everybody see it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so these are what happens here is there are some people who feel that you must have noticed in your class also. There are people who don't answer anything in class. You all call them what they are extremely bindas, susagar people. No? They'll come, sit, and just go. And then there are other people who do so much. They'll do cultural activities. They are into sports. They are into studies. They take so much on their plate, but still they manage to do it, right? Take that limited amount. Do not take everything and then get so worked up about it and then you can't do. Even those people who don't do anything at all, you'll need to start taking part in things, showing yourself into different activities. It's nice to see when you people take part. Now these are the common triggers in stress. First, what I put on the list is peer pressure, wherein you all are forced to do things you don't want to do. It would be drinking, it would be smoking. All these things fall into this, and people tell you, to reduce stress, take one puff, come with me, I'll give you this, or try weed, this is going to help you. So please do not get into drugs and alcohol, it's not going to help you. Next, I would like to talk on social media, and you're getting stressed out there. There are people who put up their perfect pictures online, thinking that since everybody's photos are so good online, no pores on the face, bodies are perfect. Trust me, it is all Photoshop and filters what they put out there. And you also get stressed out by the same. So please see that you don't get so involved with all of this and put your normal pictures once in a way. Do not think that, okay, everybody is perfect out there and I also need to look perfect. As I spoke to you all about friendships, friends will come and go. You all don't need to take drastic measures of doing things to yourself. One friend is not talking to you doesn't mean you cut yourself or do other things of consuming something. Please see that you'll either sort out the issue or you'll go to somebody and like even a counselor and sit and sort out the issue in front of them. Face to face if you can't do it over the phone. From you all as students, I want to know, you all might have had lots of friends being in relationships, right? What are the complications and how do you all know when your friends go through a breakup or are going through a difficult time? Put in the comment section how you all come to know about this. And I need to know from a few people. So please put in the comment section. Come on, nobody is going to be judging you all. When your friends are going through a difficult phase, how do you all come to know? What are the signs you all get? What do they do? Come on, students. No one has friends who are in relationships. Correct, they become very sad. Anything else? I'll tell you few main things that they do. Yes, they start acting differently. Very true. They remove their DPs from WhatsApp. That's the first sign to know that somebody is going through a difficult time. They don't talk to anybody. Very true. They also put up statuses and stories over social media. If any of you all have friends doing this, you all need to talk to them and not ignore it, thinking, okay, this one's is everyday story. Every day they are fighting. Yes, said live statuses they put up. So please see that you all talk to them. And they prefer to remain alone also and not talk to anybody. If you all have people like this, you all need to speak to them. At the most, you all can tell me also to talk to them if they are from our higher secondary to be particular. When it comes to academics, During this lockdown, many of the students have not been studying, or they have been saying, my books are incomplete. I don't know whether I'll finish the 12th. I better leave. See, failures are stepping stones, right? Every exam, you always will get another re-exam. Even if you'll fail, there is always another exam. But please study whenever you'll get time. Especially now when you all are at home, there is a lot of time that you'll get to study. It could be the morning session or the evening, late night, evenings. You'll do your regular work, you won't come across such a thing of, failing in academics. Please see that you all are able to meet your deadlines on time. Any assignment, say you all have an eco assignment, BS assignment, teachers give you all way in advance. You'll need to tackle it one at a time. You'll finish your BS or you'll finish your eco, start on the next one. Then what you all will do last minute, 2 days before your assignment, you all will say, teacher, please give us extra time. Or you all will go on Google and put some things together and submit your assignment. Do not do that. You'll need to work on your material way in advance. Another thing that causes stress is you'll give very less time to yourselves. You'll feel now I'm become big, I'm an adolescent, and I'm focused so much on my career and studies. I don't have time to sit and meditate. I don't have time to play. No time for cricket or football. Please see that you'll give time to yourselves. I'm not saying sit on your phone and chat with your friends. Time for yourselves. In a day, we get this many hours. A lot of time is there. I'm very sure you all can give around 15 to 20 minutes for yourself. Now this is when people don't sleep at night. What you all do? Play games, no? Now that PUBG is banned, what you all are playing? Free Fire, or you all play COD. Rest of the time you all are either chatting with your friends online, but you all sleep very late. Stick to a normal sleep schedule. See that you all get proper sleep and get up also early morning at around 7, 8 o'clock, 9 maybe, and sit back revising your matter or going through whatever the teacher has taught for the day. You'll sleep late, and then by the time classes start in the afternoon, you'll are half sleepy. Now this happens in class. People are stressed out when they are supposed to answer in class. They get very scared to answer in class. Sometimes even here now in the chat box, there are people that are scared to put in their comments here because other people will say something or somebody will judge them. Please try and put this fear behind you and try and start participating in class or over G-Meet and online sessions. Now we are in a stage, everybody is at home. Soon you all might have to come back to school. Do not stress out about that fact of what is going to happen. Will social distancing happen? Will I catch the virus? This all will be dealt with as and when things do happen and things do fall in place. So don't stress out about that. There are sometimes classes or subjects which are very difficult for you all. You'll need to ask the teacher if you'll have any difficulties. Do not give up and say, I can't do it, or this subject is very difficult. I'll take some other stream next year, or I'll change to arts, or do hotel management. If you like commerce and you've joined commerce for a reason, I'm very sure you can deal with it. You'll have dealt with so many subjects in your school days which were difficult, but you all overcame it, right? It wasn't difficult for you all. You all finished your 10th boards and you all are here today. Keep a routine, as I said before. See that you all don't have any changes in it. You all don't sleep late and get up late, and every day is a different story. Stick to one timetable. Now, these are ways on how you all can deal with stress. Please stay positive. Positive has become a very negative word in 2020 especially. But this is your thoughts that need to be positive and not related to COVID or any other situation. Everybody around you will tell you you can't do it. But if you have faith in yourself, lots of things are possible. So please stay positive. Arrange your academic life. See that it is organized. When you sit on a table, your desk which is in front of you, see that you keep all your like books neatly filed in front of you and not one paper on the floor and your books under the table. See that everything is organized in front of you. Keep small sticky notes in front of you so that you know every assignment you finish, you're able to tick it off. Stop postponing. Whatever it is, finish it on time. Your teacher gives you an assignment tomorrow, start working on it soon. Don't wait for the deadline and the submission date to then submit your things. And as I said, complete one task at a time. You all are going even say for trekking or you all go somewhere. You all won't say, boys, the climb is so high, let it be, I'll wait here. You know, you all go ahead. You all will obviously take one step at a time, take breaks in between. Or you all are going at a restaurant to eat a pizza or say masala dosa. You all will eat it in sections, right? You all won't put the whole thing in your mouth. Similarly, your tasks, one at a time, and you all will finish it. See that you all have family time. It could be having board games together, you're helping your mother in the kitchen, and you all talk to them. Don't simply sit with your phone the entire day and saying teachers are giving, you know, a lot of work and we have to complete a lot of work. Spend time together and talk. Don't sit together and watch TV, but talk to each other. Please stay hydrated also. Keep a bottle in front of you all whenever you all are attending classes, a bottle of water, not anything else. And keep sipping on it whenever possible. See that you all are active. Either you all exercise, it could be running, jogging, skipping. Even mornings, there are some students that go for cycling, which is very good. So if you all, if time permits, especially 11th standards have told us that they do go cycling in the morning. So please see that you all are in some sort of physical activity, because sitting at home the entire day and not coming out, it can get very difficult. Listen to music, whatever you all like, it's up to you all. I'm not saying only sit and listen to instrumental music. Listen to whatever you all like and whatever makes you all feel good. These are a few things for you all to keep in mind. You all need to be very, keep thinking positive. Say in the morning affirmations in front of the mirror. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pass the 12th standard. I'm going to finish doing my eco assignment for the day. The more you all say it to yourselves and the more you all are positive, things will happen your way. Do things you all love. It could be drawing mandalas, sketching, painting. Do not give up on your hobbies. You all have not grown up and you all are not adults. You all are still 16, 17 years old. You all need to continue taking up hobbies. These are a few breathing techniques. So you all breathe in for 4 seconds and breathe out for 4 seconds. You all can use these whenever you all get anxious or when you all are stressed out. Okay? This is another one. Whenever you all hold a, say, hot cup of coffee, tea in your hand, what do? You directly sip it? No, right? You all will blow air into it to cool it down. So the same way, you all blow in and blow out it. So this is another technique which you all can use. Pretend you all have an imaginary hot cup in your hand and you all are cooling it down. This is a muscle relaxation technique wherein from your toes onwards till the top of your body, you all tighten and loosen your muscles. This way, you all get less stressed and your stress tends to disappear slowly. Now, this is the slide I had told many students about yesterday, wherein I would like you all to please show yourselves on video and you all are following my instructions. So please turn on your video. Anybody? Come on, students, turn on your videos. I don't need you all to unmute yourselves. I just need to see your faces, because I need you all to be following my instructions. Okay, can you all follow these instructions with me? Are you all willing to do it? Please say yes in the chat box. I don't want you all sleeping. Okay, follow my instructions, okay? Whatever I'm saying, please follow, because at the end I'm going to ask you all how you all felt. Okay, close your eyes, everybody. Since I can't see you all, I'm just hoping that you all are following me. So close your eyes and sit comfortably wherever you all are sitting up. Please don't sleep on the bed. Okay, so imagine a place where you all feel calm, peaceful, and safe. It may be a place you've been to before, or some place you dreamt about going to. It could be a picture of a place you've also seen before. Take a moment and go to this place. Look around you. What can you see? Who is in this place? Are you all by yourself? Or are there other people around you? Focus on the colors in your peaceful, safe place. Take a moment to take the colors in. And let yourself relax as you look around you. Now try and notice the sounds that are around you. Or perhaps the silence. Think about any smells that you notice there. Then focus on any skin sensations. It could be the wind in your hair, the scent in your toes, or any movement that you can feel around you. While you're in this peaceful place, take a mental snapshot. So you can bring back this image anytime you feel stressed. You can either choose to stay there a little longer and enjoy the peacefulness, when you are ready, open your eyes and become aware of where you are now. Okay, students, you can open your eyes, and I need to know in the chat box how you all liked this part of the session. I hope everyone feels the same way. Only one? Okay, very good. Anybody else? Nice. So you all could keep trying this whenever you all feel stressed out. Okay, now I would be having a short quiz with you all. And I would like you all to put the answers in your chat box, in the chat box here. And we have teachers who would keep an eye out. The top 3 would be getting e-certificates later on, and 3 medals, like the first, second, third place as well. Okay? So please see that you all pay attention to the questions, or simply don't start putting in your answers. So I'll be presenting the questions to you all now. You can view the screen. Okay. Everybody is ready now? All students? Whoever is there on the
Yes,
feed right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm starting. So the rules are: first person to type the correct answer in the chat box will be acknowledged. Pay attention to the questions being read. There are 10 questions. So it's going to be question followed by answer, question followed by answer. 3 winners will be declared later on. Okay. Mental health problems are very rare. True or false? Okay. Okay, students, we've already got our first person. I'm moving on to the second question. Just put something so that you know it is split. Okay, so the right answer is false. Okay. Next question. There's no such thing as mental illnesses. People just fake it. True or false? The right answer is false. People don't fake mental illnesses. Okay. Moving on. Next question. It's best not to talk or help someone who has mental problems. True or false? The answer is false. You need to help anybody or everybody who has a mental health problem. Okay. Next question. Most of the suicides happen suddenly without any warning. True or false? The answer is false. It keeps on going. You get reasons when, or you get signs when somebody is suicidal. Only those acting moody or sad are suicidal. True or false? The answer is false. So all those that answered false, you all were correct. Question number 6. People who talk about suicide won't really do it. They just talk. Okay, all those that answered false, your answer is correct. People that either talk about it or even don't talk about it, many times there are signs which you all need to be aware about. Question 7. Mental health problems are a sign of weakness. The answer is false. Question 8. Anxiety is just someone's way of getting attention. True or false? The answer is false. It is not a way of seeking attention. People do have anxiety and they go through panic attacks or tremors. Question 9. Stress is always bad for you. True or false? Correct. Students, please wait down because you all are posting really fast your true and false and the question is not even complete. Okay, so stress is always bad for you. The answer is false. The last question, women appear more prone to stress than men. True or false? Okay, the answer is false. Women and men both go through same amounts of stress. Only women might show more signs compared to men. Men might not show physical signs of it and them going through stress. So I'm done with the quiz. The winners will be declared later. Okay, handing it over to teacher now.
Okay, students, I got in my personal chat that they could not hear the introduction of our speaker, Miss Gail. So I'll just repeat it again just for you all to know her about her. Okay, Gail Ribello, she passed out from Carmel College and has done her master's in counseling psychology. Okay, securing the third rank at state level for the same. She is also a certified career analyst and has been in this profession for past 7
Thank you, Teacher Girija. I now request
Okay, thank
Mr.
you.
Durgesh Prabhugaonkar to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Sorry.
Because I think it's something and I want them to know about you.
Everyone present here today would like to thank Dr. Enid Miranda for taking the time to speak to our students on mental wellness and are grateful for the efforts you took to so I thank Ms. Gill for having an interactive session with us.
Also, I like to thank Ma'am Sandia for putting things together at such a short notice. Also, I'm extremely grateful to Usha and Namita for all the technical support rendered to us. I also thank everyone else who has been a part of today's webinar. A big thank you to one and all for making this webinar an
Thank you,
enjoyable,
dear students, for
interactive, and
joining this
dynamic.
section.
Thank you.
You may leave, right? You may leave now. This is with the end of the session. Thank you very much for joining. Bye.